Back on his way, gone!
It's not this easy.
For Shohei Ohtani, it is on the mound, at the plate, a 3-homer postseason game, and oh yeah, 6 shutout innings. What can he do?
It is not hyperbolic to say you just witnessed and we just witnessed, and we will revisit the greatest postseason performance in the history of Major League Baseball. We will explore from every angle over the course of the next 2 hours on SportsCenter. Randy Scott, Gary Streisky, but of course, it is also a college football Saturday.
A massive one at that. We have 4 top 20 matchups. Which ones? Thanks for asking. LSU Vandy, Ole Miss and Georgia, Tennessee Bama, and USC Notre Dame. We have you covered on all of them.
Our guest lineup again. Healthy, Herbie, Dez, Harry Douglas, Stanford Steve, all from the set of Game Day. Plus, we'll chop it up with Tim Tebow, Roman Harper, Eric McLean, and Heather Dinich on an upset last night that will shake up the CFP.
But we start with the best postseason performance we have ever seen in Major League Baseball from Mr. Shocktober. Shohei Ohtani on the mound. His skipper Dave Roberts talking about his...
Wait, the winner of the ALCS between the Blue Jays and the Mariners. What a phenomenal performance, a phenomenal game, a phenomenal athlete. Let's go into the winning clubhouse. And Dave Roberts.
We got to raise a glass to Shohei. He's a freak. He's the MVP, and he put on a performance that I don't think there's any better performance in postseason history. So, Shohei, congratulations. Well done. Winning this World Series is the most important thing for each one of us and our family. It's starting spring training. It's going to end with 4 more wins. Keep the edge. Let's stay on the hunt, guys.
Can we talk about the tatted clown? We're not going to talk about the tatted clown.
We can talk about it.
We need Buster Olney with us. Buster, where does this rank among the best postseason games that you've ever seen?
Look, I'm in Seattle last night covering the American League Championship Series, and as Ohtani was doing this, it was right after the Mariners game, and you could hear the chattering among sports writers, Ohtani, Ohtani, Ohtani. But forget what sports writers are saying, just the individual reactions from teammates, other people in the ballpark in Los Angeles told you everything. After Dave Roberts had that champagne celebration, I texted with him, and he answered back, greatest individual performance ever in any sport. Look, when we first heard about Shohei Ohtani, what was said over and over and over again? That he was the Babe Ruth of Japan. Well, Babe Ruth never did what Shohei Ohtani did last night. Absolute mastery with the 3 home runs, with the 6 scoreless innings, 10 strikeouts. I mean, we need to remind ourselves every single day that what we're seeing from Shohei Ohtani has never been done before.
And he hadn't, Buster, even been playing his best baseball before this in this postseason. Why was there a pivotal moment earlier in this series?
You could see this coming. Game 2, 8th inning. He's struggling. He strikes out. He's coming back to the dugout. And the look on his face was something I've never seen in Ohtani. Rage. He was furious. We've seen happy Ohtani, joyous Ohtani. He enjoys himself, but he was angry. And what happened after that, we have learned, is that he went back to L.A. after Game 2. He took batting practice outside at Dodger Stadium, which is why everybody felt like this is coming. There's something special really coming. And look, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, the greatest athletes we've ever seen. We've seen that absolute compilation of rage and effort and talent into these great performances, and that's what we saw last night.
It's something we may never see again, but then again, we could see it in the World Series for all we know from Shohei Ohtani. He becomes the first in baseball history to have a leadoff homer as a pitcher, and we should have known that we were in line, as Buster said, for something special. Thanks, Buster.
Hey, LA heading back to the World Series as we are joined by former Red Sox third baseman Will Middlebrooks and former first-round pick Lewis Brinson.
Just to say, I just have something.
Oh, you got something for us?
Yeah.
Oh, we were looking for that.
It was just
The Dodgers were looking for that because they brought out the broom, getting the victory over the Brewers. And Lewis, we asked you pregame. We said, do the Brewers have any chance to maybe extend this series? And you got out of your seat and you said, you know what? it's a wash. This whole thing is over. It's time to pack it up. But before we get into the details just of this game, because there's a lot that we can take away, some big performances, but who expected to see a sweep against the best team in baseball, the best record in baseball, one of the best offenses in baseball? Just how do you verbalize what this series and what this game meant?
I definitely didn't expect a sweep. I definitely expected the Dodgers to come out on top, but I didn't expect this type of dominance from the Dodgers, man. From a pitching standpoint, defensively, offensively, I mean, you know, we'll get into it, but the Dodgers it's almost like they had the script to this whole series and to this game. They're like, all right, you know, Ohtani, you're going to hit 3 homers. You're going to strike out 10. Blake Snell, you're going to go almost a complete game. Yamamoto's going to get the complete game. Don't worry about it. But it's like they controlled literally this whole series. The Brewers could get nothing going. They did not let them breathe. It was just a complete dominant performance by the Dodgers, man.
I didn't expect a sweep, but I'm also not surprised by it. I mean, look at this. Look at these numbers from the starting pitching. I mean, this is historic. This is legendary.
This isn't fair.
No, these are 4 aces anywhere else, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't expect the sweep.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah.
I am not surprised one bit. When you get pitching like that and then you have a lineup like that, the bullpen's not great, but who cares? When you get starting pitching like that, it doesn't matter.
Exactly, and that was the big storyline when you're looking at this Dodgers team heading into the postseason. But, Will, you said pregame that Shohei will be motivated. This is his time to redeem himself and bounce back, especially after having a relatively quiet start to the postseason. And he certainly delivered. One night, 3 homers, one of which 469-foot blast that nearly exits the stadium. Well, if you can just break down what we saw out of Shohei at the plate.
This is overall just the best postseason performance of all time. I can't think of anything that trumps that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just defies anything and everything that makes sense in this game. We've never seen anything like it. We will never see anything like this. And not to get weird about it, but we're so lucky to get to watch this in real time. Mm-hmm. This is historic what we're seeing, and we're becoming numb to his greatness because it's normal now. We see it every season now. This is special. This is unbelievable what we're seeing right now.
This is unbelievable, man. I want to break down a little bit of what we saw, and obviously before the game, we went through what Ohtani was doing on the bad side of things, why he was struggling this postseason. But I want to kind of get into what he did right today and why he decided to just randomly show up all of a sudden. So first at bat, you could see by these takes, normally he's swinging at those pitches, right? And he takes this curveball, and all of a sudden that fastball right there, and then that slider hung.
Well, it's like Quintana did exactly what he has been having issues with.
What the scouting report
says
says
to
do.
perfect pitches.
Absolutely.
He made an adjustment. And it was this at bat. We were sitting upstairs watching this, and it wasn't that pitch. It was this one right here where we went,
he's locked in.
Oh, man, he's locked in. Next pitch. See ya. That landed in somebody's tailgate. They're flipping burgers in the parking lot. Now they got a Rawlings in their grill. I mean, that left the stadium, Luke.
Oh, my God. And then this last at bat, I mean, again, auto take right there, auto take right there. He wanted that one, and then on the inner half.
That's just stupid.
I need you guys to understand, this ball was 98 on his hands, and he pulled his hands inside, kept the front hip in, going to the big part of the field, and said, I'm gonna just deposit this left center. And we were talking about him rounding the bases. Look at his face. His face was like
stoic.
This is get on my back, Dodger fans, my teammates, everybody that's a Dodger fan around the world, Japan, everybody just hop on my back. It was literally, like you said, stoic. The way he was running around the bases, like, yeah, man, I do this.
I'd call him up. He's got nothing left to prove at this level.
Right? What is he still doing?
He needs a new level.
What is he still doing in the big leagues? Call him up, dude.
This is wild.
Call him up.
I'm still amazed at what we've seen and what we've witnessed from Shohei Ohtani, and something makes me believe that maybe he was watching you guys breakdowns on CBS Sports HQ. You guys were standing at the wall breaking down the mechanics and what was so different in his swing, and obviously it worked there, and it worked in a big way, helping the Dodgers head their way to the World Series. But it wasn't just what he did, fellas, at the plate. It's also what he did on the mound. And you already made an attestment to this, what the performance that we saw, and it was incredible on all ends. But now, Louis, I got to ask you, was this the single greatest performance that we have ever witnessed?
Absolutely. And we go back to, I want to take it back to last year when he had the greatest regular season game ever. Going when he finally got to 50-50 in Miami, going 5 for 5 with 3 home runs, I think, in that game as well. Going 50-50, first player to ever do that. So that's 2 years in a row where we have seen the greatest game we have ever seen. So maybe next year he might hit 5 home runs in one game. I don't know.
I don't know.
While striking out 15.
What we can see to just top the performances that Shohei just continues to deliver. But the Blue Jays offense, that was a major strength for them coming into this season. Or, sorry, the Brewers offense coming into this season, ranking highly in several categories. I'm talking batting average, runs per game, doubles per game. But 4 runs plated across this entire series. Well, was the Dodgers' arms just too much for the Brewers? What was it?
Well, they figured out they couldn't hit off speed, right? They hammered fastballs all year, and they rarely got to see the fastball. They would pitch them backwards. They would get ahead in hitters' counts. They would give them off speed 2-0, 3-1. And if they went to the fastball, it was generally high velocity, top of the zone, where it was a really tough pitch for them to do any damage on. And when they missed off the plate. And they kept filling up the zone with off speed because they couldn't make the adjustment. They didn't make the adjustment. Only 1 or 2 hits the entire series on non-fastballs.
I mean, we talk about the starting pitching, right? The starting pitching was dominant. We also talk about how the bullpen is a crutch, or has been a crutch for the Dodgers. But the last 2 games, they've pretty much been nails. We had a little scare there towards the end, but they've pretty much been locked down. So you're talking about a team going into the World Series with no flaws. Like good luck to the Mariners or the Dodgers or the Blue Jays, whoever gets in, because again, talking about a team that has no weakness, it's a scary team to see in the World Series.
You know, what helps though with the bullpen, right? At this point in the year, they've thrown so many innings, right? You're 6.5 months into this whole thing. You start in pitching, start giving you 7+ innings. All of a sudden, your leverage arms are getting rest.
Yes.
And they're getting days off. Yep. And now they get a week off, which is huge because it resets everything for them.
Absolutely. And, Louis, we talked about this a few days ago, and I do want to revisit this conversation because the Brewers, you look at the regular season, swept the Dodgers 6-0. They even had a shutout when we're looking at one of those games. I mean, how did the switch just flip? Well, in the regular season compared to the postseason.
Right. Well, postseason experience matters.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers obviously won a World Series last year. They've been in the postseason a lot with this roster, and a lot of these guys have a ton of postseason experience. Also, the Dodgers rotation was not healthy for most of the year, and they were good enough to weather that storm and kind of have just like 2 or 3 of their starters healthy at a time, as other guys were in the IL and cycling through, and they worried about. I mean, they ramped up Ohtani and built him up throughout the season. He essentially had rehab starts in the big leagues because they're that good and they can deal with it. And they said, as long as we're healthy by the end of September, that's all we care about. They're a completely different team right now than they were when they played the Brewers throughout the regular season.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it comes down to postseason experience. I mean, this Brewers team has been good for a little bit now, winning the Central, pretty much the last 2-3 years, I think. So, I mean, they have a good team. But again, the postseason is a completely different animal, right? We all know that, and the Dodgers have been here, it seems like the last 15 years or so, and these guys have been playing together, like Will said, for a long time. These guys know each other. They know ins and outs and how each other's ticks, but it was just a complete advantage for the Dodgers pretty much this whole series. And again, talk about the starting pitch and that everybody wasn't as healthy as they are now. The Dodgers slow played this all throughout the year. Again, rehabbing Shohei Ohtani throughout the whole year, and you get to the playoffs. It's like, all right, no, we're just saving all these guys for the playoffs. We'll get it right in the playoffs. Don't worry about it.
Just to give the Brewers a little bit of love, they're going against a $350 million payroll. Theirs is about $110 million.
Fair.
Right.
That's no excuse. Their owner has just as much free will to spend money if he wants. But what's impressive with the Brewers, with the payroll they have and the lack of superstar power, they develop these players, and they've been in the playoffs 7 of the last 8 years. But they can't get over that hump because they lack the superstar power, which you need in big games.
Absolutely.
Well, Shohei Ohtani, just got word Shohei Ohtani named MVP, but now he would look for another MVP, but in the World Series. But we'll need to do that as he awaits who his opponent will be. But as of now, Dodgers, back-to-back appearances. Fellas, thank you so much for that insight. Take a look at this, guys. We keep talking about this unicorn, so let's just talk about him some more, shall we? 10 or more Ks and 2 or more homers in a game. Let's be honest. Like, we haven't seen this much in the history of baseball. It's happened, but it hasn't happened that much. Shohei, he hasn't done it just once. He's done it twice, you guys, and had a big one.